everybody, it's Nicole from Cause We Love to Scrap. Today I am working on a layout for Color Cast Designs. I'm going to be using this title piece that says freaking awesome, and I'm going to be scrapbooking my nephew from the 4th of July. So those are the photos I'm going to use and my title. I'm going to be using the Flags and Frills collection from American Crafts, and this was a collection from last year. If there's anything left in a cherry on top, I will link it down below for you. And then I have some of these trims that I found on Amazon, and I might use some of those. We'll just have to see what is happening in the layout. I did grab a watercolor 12 by 12 paper, and I am going to use these 49 and Market and Ranger inks. I'm going to use Pink Sands, Strawberry Pie, Summer Sky, and Arctic Blitz to make a mixed media background. I think that's it for now, so let's go ahead and skip to voiceover. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to start with is doing my mixed media part, and you can see here that I am using the ink pads to just slide them across my page, and then I'm bringing in some water to activate the ink and make it more watercolor-like. I'm not doing it everywhere on the ink. I'm just going to do it in select locations, and then I'm going to add some little splatters here and there. And I want to point out that I already told you that I'm using a 12 by 12 watercolor paper from my stash. This is actually from Amazon, and that's where the paper actually has some texture to it, so that's where you can see those like little bumpiness on it. That comes from the paper. So if you're looking for watercolor paper, you might get this texture to it, but you won't. I don't think it comes on the Vicki Boutin Mixed Media Foundations paper. And then if you use a piece of white cardstock with some clear gesso, you probably won't have that texture, although you will get, like, let's say you use a paintbrush to paint on the gesso, you will see paintbrush strokes on the gesso. So that's just something to be aware of. That's, most of the time it's not perfect, and that's okay, because we're doing mixed media. We don't want it to be perfect. We want it to be fun and look interesting and cool. So if it has texture to it, that's just more fun and cool. So here I'm going to be finishing it up. You can see I just slid the inks, all 4 of them, right on the paper, and then come in with the water. And you can see that reaction with the water is just absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm just adding some splatters, and then I'm going to let this dry, and then it's going to be perfect for making a background. So there we go. It's all dry now. And here are the pictures of my nephew on 4th of July. And I'm using that freaking awesome title that says freaking awesome. And I'm going to put it over here to the left. And then I am going to glue freaking down off camera. And I am going to do it a little wonky like that. And then I'm going to bring in all of this stuff to go ahead and play with. So this is from the 6x8 paper pad from Flags and Frills, and I'm going to cut them to 3 1/4 inches, and then I'm gonna I'm going to adhere them and then distress them and rip down the bottom part. So I did go ahead and do all of that off camera, and I put them down off camera so they are down on foam. And then I glued down my awesome off camera as well, because you don't need to see me putting tape on stuff and sticking it to each other or gluing down awesome. I mean, and you can see that I did it funky, and that's how I wanted it, because I like to do wonky stuff on my layouts. I just think it's fun. And then you don't have to worry about it being straight. And that's one of the things, is that I don't like to worry about it being straight, because half the time it doesn't turn out straight. And I do not have, nor do I want, one of those T-square rulers, because I don't want to be straight. I want to be wonky. So the first thing I'm going to bring in is the ephemera from the Flags and Frills. And in this ephemera, there are some leftover pieces from another layout that I did, and they're like little flags. So I'm going to use those to make a little banner right here under my title, brain fart. And then I'm going to make 3 separate embellishment clusters. I'm going to make one to the upper right of my photos, one to the right of that banner, and then one above the word freaking. So you can see how I'm going to set up all of these clusters. So I wind up not using any of those. I do bring this piece in, but I wanted it to be like really close to freaking, but I couldn't make that work. So I am going to use not that one. No, none of those. I get rid of that stuff. I did want to bring the red here because the red is on the opposite side of the page. So I want to bring it over here to the left. So I am going to use that funky looking flower. I'm also going to use that little blue medallion, but I'm going to put it underneath. There we go. So that's how I'm going to do that. I don't use that flower, but I do use a white and red flower. That one right there. And then I'm going to bring in this little firework. So that is definitely going to be the main of my cluster up there. I'm still going through the ephemera here. I do wind up using a little flower. Yep, that one right there, over there. Yeah, right there. And then I do add another flower over here to the flag and the blue flowers. I'm not going to use that. No, yes, I do use this gold leaf. And then, yep, that little flower there. And then I'm pretty much done with those. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them away and get them back over with their collection. So I do go off camera and put all of that down, and then I fold up all of the flower stuff, the flower petals, there we go, and the leaves and everything else. And then I dive into the, excuse me. Okay, what I was trying to say was that I'm diving into the puffy stickers, and I do add a little flag to all of the embellishments, and then I add some flowers to the embellishments as well. Now I'm going to grab the stickers, and they have these little stars that I'm going to add all over my page. Yeah, just throughout the clusters. And yeah, I use a lot of them. So I do that. So yeah. Like I said, this was a 4th of July, and you can pretty much tell it's a 4th of July page. I pretty much make it known. I love 4th of July. I love the 4th of July colors. I love making scrapbook pages for the 4th of July. So yeah, this is my jam here. And did I finish? No. What's going on here? Did I finish with the stickers? I think I'm finished with the stickers. I I thought about using those little strips of stickers, but no. So now, okay, I need to use some twine for my banner, and I'm just kind of letting it drop where it falls, and then I'm gonna glue it. Now we're gonna use some pink buttons. I love to use pink in 4th of July as well. And I'm going to use 2 buttons in each of these clusters. And then I'm going to go off and glue them down. And then I'm also going to bring in some gold beads. Let's see if I do that. Oh, yeah, so here's the gold beads. I'm going to pinch them and drop them. They aren't very cooperative like sequins because they roll around. So even though I pinch and drop them, I do wind up moving them to different places. I glue them down and then that's it. So this is a page for Colorcast Designs for the Freaking Awesome title. So I will have that link down below along with any other products that I have here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for coming by and watching my video. Until next time.